There are a lot of questionable people in this show, but somehow Glenn Quagmire keeps finding new ways to outdo every single one of them.
Hey, you ever accidentally mask to young pictures of your mom?
Who the starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
Today, we are diving into episodes that prove Quagmire is not just the creepy neighbor next door or the pilot you pray never flies your plane. No, this goes way past that. So let's start the show. We are kicking things off with Season 10, Episode 3, an episode that pretends it is normal for about 3 seconds before dragging you into one of the heaviest stories the show has ever told. This is the one where Quagmire nearly dies. His sister Brenda shows up, and her boyfriend Jeff instantly makes the entire room feel unsafe. If you want a taste of how dark Quagmire's world gets, this episode opens the door and throws you inside. Quagmire misses a fishing trip, which is unusual enough for Peter and Joe to check on him. They find him barely conscious in a scene nobody wanted to walk into.
We gotta get him to a hospital.
All right, but let's just watch the end of this clown porn first.
They drag him to the hospital and save him, but the scare sends a message to his sister Brenda, who arrives with her boyfriend Jeff. And the second Jeff shows up, he has the kind of energy that makes you tense up without even knowing why.
Come on, Brenda. A stupid nursery rhyme isn't gonna wake him up, especially the way you sing. Right, man?
He is controlling, snappy, always watching Brenda like she belongs to him instead of being with him. That night, Quagmire hears yelling through the walls and realizes things are worse than he thought. The next day, he goes to Lois and asks her to check on Brenda.
Hey, Peter.
Jeez, Quagmire, you look terrible.
I didn't get any sleep.
Lois takes Brenda to lunch and gently asks her to remove her sunglasses. When Brenda does, you see the bruises and everything you suspected about Jeff becomes real in one awful moment.
I don't think you understand how serious I'm at of it. Close your menu.
What?
Close your menu so they know we're ready to order.
I'll give you another moment.
The group decides to hold an intervention, even though subtlety is not something any of these people have ever mastered. They try to help, but every line they say feels like sandpaper on the situation. Quagmire even reads a letter that sounds more like an insult than concern, which makes the room even more uncomfortable. Then Jeff walks in and drops 2 bombs at once. He and Brenda are engaged, and she is pregnant. Peter tries to celebrate, which is about as helpful as setting the table on fire.
Oh, congratulations! Have you thought of any names yet? Maybe Slappy?
Quagmire reaches his breaking point when he sees Jeff hit Brenda again. That is when he decides that talking is over. He rounds up the guys and they form a plan to take Jeff into the woods and end him. Yes, they go straight from intervention to homicide planning, like this is a normal step in problem solving.
I gotta take a whiz.
All right, look. When he comes back, I'm just gonna do it, okay?
On the camping trip, Jeff flips the plan and pulls a gun. He drags Quagmire away and starts choking him to death. Jeff thinks he has the upper hand until Quagmire suddenly snaps awake thanks to his own strange history with choking himself. He launches forward and slams into Jeff, ending the fight for good. The guys write a fake note from Jeff saying he left Brenda because she deserves better, and they head home like nothing insane just happened.
I kind of want to kill somebody else now. Oh, Morton!
And if this is just the first entry on the list, wait until you see what happens in Season 8, Episode 6. Things only get stranger from here. Season 8, Episode 6, the moment Peter shows up at Quagmire's place to complain about a faulty radio, instead of a refund, he gets front row seats to Quagmire finding out he might actually be a father. And if you think Quagmire is scared of commitment, wait until you see how scared he is of responsibility.
Glenn, this is your child. Next time, wear a condom, jerk. Oh my God!
After taking a DNA test, the results hit him like a plane engine. The baby is his. No misunderstandings, no plot twist. Just pure panic in human form. And from the moment he holds her, you can tell he has absolutely no idea what to do. He is talking to her like she is 20, asking her if she smokes, explaining what a tie on the doorknob means. This man should not be within 50 feet of a daycare.
You smoke?
But instead of trying to be better, he immediately starts looking for an escape plan. First, he asks Peter about abortion, which gets shut down instantly.
Have you considered abortion?
Peter, I think it's too late for that.
Then he tries adoption. Peter and Lois say no, which leads Quagmire to drop the baby at an agency with the single most uncomfortable question about sand people that has ever been said out loud.
Like, you're not gonna put her with sand people, right?
You mean like from Star Wars?
And here is the twist. The moment the baby is gone, Quagmire starts to miss her. He tries to track down the family that adopted her and sees that they are treating her with real stability, something he knows he cannot give. For a quick moment, it looks like he finally understands what putting a child first means. Then he ruins it immediately with one sentence.
Hey, who knows? Maybe I'll bump into her in 18 years.
What?
And just like that, the hint of character growth collapses in on itself like a bad souffle. What makes this episode even wilder is that it shows Quagmire can understand responsibility, but only for about 20 seconds before the old Quagmire booting back online. And we are not even close to his worst behavior. Because in Season 10, Episode 10, things take an uncomfortable turn towards someone he should absolutely never look at. Season 10, Episode 10 starts off with Meg's 18th birthday, a moment that should feel special, but instead feels like someone accidentally booked a surprise party in an empty room. Only her family shows up, which already tells you how her social life is doing. But things take a fast turn when Quagmire walks in with that smile. That means trouble is about to happen. From the moment he sees Meg, he switches into full Predator mode. Compliments, stories, pilot charm, all aimed straight at someone who has never had even a tiny bit of romantic luck.
Hey, where's that pinky going, huh? Where's he going? What's he doing? Get back here. There you go.
Meg eats it up, because to her, this feels like attention. To everyone else, it feels like a crime scene warming up. Later that night, he slides into her messages with sweet lines that quickly turn into classic Quagmire content. The kind you have to mentally censor just to stay sane. But it works, and Meg agrees to go on a date with him. Even Stewie jumps in like a tiny alien commander, yelling at him to stay away from his sister. And somehow the only person who supports the date at first is Lois, which is wild on its own.
Peter, nothing's gonna happen. Don't you see? She's only doing this to get a rise out of us. If we fight her on it, she'll only push further.
Their date goes well for Meg and horribly for everyone watching. Quagmire is experienced and she is barely legal, which makes the entire situation feel wrong in every direction. Before long, they are officially dating. Yes, dating. Meg thinks she found love. Quagmire is counting down to one thing.
QM2? I'm not sure what that is.
It's Quagmegium. It's the strongest compound on Earth.
The breaking point arrives when Quagmire decides to take Meg away to his cabin for the weekend, a place he casually calls the Stuff It Inn. And yes, it is exactly what it sounds like. Peter and Lois suddenly wake up and realize they are parents with responsibilities and rush to stop whatever is about to happen. Inside the cabin, Quagmire is trying to set the mood with firelight and stories, while Meg sits starry-eyed. But before anything can happen, Peter kicks down the door and ends the entire situation with the single most chaotic dad rescue of his life. Lois leaves Quagmire with a threat that sounds like it came from a horror movie, and the message is crystal clear. Stay away from Meg.
Lois Griffin. Peter Griffin. We heard alone.
If you think that was bad, wait until we move to Season 13, Episode 10, where Quagmire manages to get into trouble with someone even younger than Meg. Season 13, Episode 10 begins with something harmless on the surface. Peter finds out his real name is Justin and immediately transforms himself into the most chaotic frat boy you have ever seen.
Since I'm your cool father, Justin, we should bond with skin-to-skin contact.
And of course, this leads to a huge house party that absolutely nobody asked for. But this harmless party ends up creating one of Quagmire's worst moments yet, because in the middle of the noise and spilled drinks, Quagmire meets a girl named Kira, and everything seems normal until the next morning when he finds out she is still in high school. Not like a senior who is about to graduate, no, a full underage student. But Quagmire being Quagmire loses every chance at sympathy the second he brags about it and then sends photos to Joe. Joe, being a cop and not a fool, shows up immediately. With the evidence right there on Quagmire's phone, Joe has everything he needs to arrest him. Which leads to the moment where Quagmire is forced to go around his neighborhood telling people he is a registered offender. And somehow, even that is not rock bottom for him.
Anyway, now I gotta go in front of a judge.
Really? Number 1 or number 2? Our judicial system is so broken.
Things escalate into a full court trial. Peter and the guys try to defend him, but they do a terrible job. Their speeches are so bad, they might as well be helping the prosecution. So Quagmire takes the stand himself and starts talking about his difficult upbringing. Except his definition of difficult is having a mom who behaves exactly like he does. It is the kind of moment that makes you sit back and ask what show you are even watching.
The only way I learned my ABCs was by learning the names of all the guys my mom slept with.
And then, the twist arrives. His mom shows up, but she is no longer the same woman he remembers. She claims she has found faith and has turned her life around. She insists insists Quagmire should be freed and placed in her care so she can guide him toward morality. The judge does not buy it and hands down a 20-year sentence.
Oh, don't think of it as 20 years. Think of it as two 10-year-olds, you sick freak.
But just when it seems like Quagmire might finally face real consequences, something unbelievable happens. His mom shows up again with the judge and announces that new DNA evidence has cleared him. You do not have to be an alien to know exactly what happened during that car ride. And just like that, Quagmire walks away free without learning a single thing.
Aw, Quagmire got away with it and learned nothing. That's great.
And if you think this episode is wild, wait until we get to Season 8, Episode 18. Because when Quagmire's father shows up, things get even stranger than you expect. Season 8, Episode 18 might not look intense at first, but the moment Quagmire's father walks through the door, you can feel the whole atmosphere shift. This is the episode where Quagmire's world gets flipped, twisted, and snapped in the most chaotic way possible. It starts off with Don Quagmire arriving in town for a naval ball, and he enters with more confidence and sparkle than the entire cast combined. Peter and Joe start texting theories instantly, and you can already tell this episode is about to go somewhere unpredictable.
What?
Yeah, I think that your father's gay.
Gay? we should all be so gay.
Quagmire invites Peter and Lois to the ball, and things go downhill fast. Between the dancing, the music, and the suspicious comments from Dan's old Navy buddies, Quagmire slowly realizes Peter might be right about his dad. So he confronts Dan directly, and Dan does not deny anything. Instead, he calmly reveals something even bigger. He is not gay, but he is transitioning, and this absolutely breaks Quagmire's brain.
Oh, come on, just be gay.
He is becoming Ida, and this absolutely breaks Quagmire's brain. He spirals hard trying to understand what this means. He lashes out, he pushes Ida away. He focuses only on how this affects him, while ignoring how much Ida must have struggled before making this decision. It gets so bad that Ida leaves to stay in a hotel and tries to drink away the stress. This is when everything explodes. Brian meets Ida at the hotel bar. He does not know who she is. She does not know who he is. They talk, they flirt, they go back to his room. And the next morning, Brian brags about it like he won an award. He even shows pictures. It is only when Stewie casually mentions that Quagmire's dad transitioned and changed her name to Ida that Brian realizes he slept with Quagmire's new mom. He instantly throws up everything he has ever eaten, emotionally and physically.
Oh, what? What the hell? What's wrong with you?
But it does not end there. Ida confesses what happened to Quagmire, and Quagmire storms into the Griffin house like a missile. He finds Brian and beats him so badly that even an alien like me had to look away for a second. And just like that, the episode ends with the perfect snapshot of Quagmire's entire character: angry, conflicted, hypocritical, and somehow always the one causing chaos, even when he is not the focus.